free, let me be me. But you can put the blame on me, blame it on me. After you done running your mouth, now who gon' write or send a check out? Who gon' write the check out? Who gon' send the check out? It's crazy nowadays, they just doing it for clout. They just doing it for clout, doing it for clout. It's crazy nowadays, they just doing it for clout. They wanna put the blame on me. They wanna put the blame on me. Why they impact? They wanna put the blame on me. They wanna put the blame on me. Blame it on me. They wanna put. Hey y'all, what's up? What it do? Coming back with another story time for you. Who can share my tea better than me? Nobody. That's why I'm here to drop another one of my crazy story times that happened, you know, way back when or whatnot. But you know, it happened. And you know, all my little stories got some type of little lesson that come behind it. So I'm finna share it with y'all. Okay, so with this story, we're gonna take it back a little bit, right? So I remember this day. And this day, well, not even this day, around this time, I had just started conversating with this boy at school, right? So you know how it was when you went to school. It wasn't really nothing major. You know how you would just text, you would talk on the phone, you see each other in the hallways, things like that if you didn't have a class with them. Okay, yeah. So I started conversating with this boy. One day, after a while, maybe not too long, not too short or whatever, he asked me if I could chill with him at the school. He was like, I come to his house and chill with him at the school. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, not too much thinking of the nasty stuff or whatever. Like, you know how them boys be anyway. They be young or whatever. They PPs be ready or whatever. But even though, like, I had intentions, I told him, yeah, I'll come over there or whatever. That don't mean to do things, you know, that or whatever. So I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. But I was a little skeptical. Know me, I'm always skeptical about some stuff or whatever, especially when it come down to men, boys, nowadays even females. You know, they'll play at you too. But we finna get into it. So I tell him, yeah, I'll go ahead and come see him at the school or whatnot or whatever. So I remember, okay, I'm gonna name her that girl. Because I didn't get to give nobody no names yet. I just got into this story time. We're going to call her that girl. So I had done reached out to that girl or whatever. So I'm like, after school, you feel me? You want to walk with me to go see dude or whatever. And in this story, we got 3 different dudes. So it's going to be dude 1, dude 2, and dude 3. You know, dude 1 going to be the main character or whatever. So he dude. But even though everybody play a role in this or whatever. But yeah. So I tell her whatever. I'm like, yeah, you feel me? Let's go see what's it called at the school, but I want you to come with me or whatever. And you know, back in the days, like us, I don't know, I guess us being younger, but we was like, seem like we more mature than this generation this time. Like these kids nowadays, they just pull out their phones and that's all they did. Like, you know, they be into that or whatever. I be sometimes scared, like, do y'all even know how to cross the street? Do you know how to go outside and play? Like, do you know how to do things like that? Like, these kids is built different. But back then, oh yeah, we used to walk everywhere, but we knew where we was going. We knew how to catch buses to our destinations if we had to get on one. Even if we had to get a transfer, when they had a little paper ticket transfers, all that good stuff. We knew how to catch metro rails. We was know how to do all that stuff. When I tell you, we used to walk. Tom and Jerry, let's go. We used to be gone. You hear me? So, baby, can't catch me now. Too tired. I get too tired. I get tired from running. I get tired from walking down the street. I just too lazy. Once I brought my first car, it was a dub. I ain't barely even want to use these things down there no more, or let alone no other type of transportation. Like, you know, once you become that responsible person, you get your own stuff. It's like nothing like your own, whether it's a house, car, whatever. But yeah, we getting off topic. So yeah, so she was like, yeah, I'll walk with you to go to his crib or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, bet, whatever. So we gone to, so after schools come, we go ahead. Here we put it to his crib or whatever. So as we get there, whatever, we all 3, it's like the 3 of us or whatever, we just chilling or whatever. So after a while, he was like, oh, let's go in my room or whatever. So I'm like, you know, but I'm like, all right or whatever. So, you know, I still goes or whatever. We goes in the room to chill and stuff like that. And, you know, like, eventually they get to touching and trying to do all this crazy stuff or whatever. So I fed into it or whatever. I obviously, that's why I'm here to tell y'all the story what's going on. But I fed into it. So we ended up being grown. Like, being grown, because mind you, we in high school at this point or whatever. So we started doing what grown people do. You know, so well, and back then it's like when you look back now, like, girl, did you even know what you was doing? Like, yeah, I always feel like I've been the beast at what I do. So
But yeah, so we gets into it. We going ahead. We doing our little thing or whatever. Every time I do it, I doing my thing. Yeah, so we doing our thing. So right after that, probably like 5 minutes in or whatever, 5 to 7 minutes in, I get a phone call. So that girl had done called me and she was like, oh, I got to get ready to leave because I got to go to night school. So I'm like, I'm like, dang, why she ain't, or whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably finna just get ready to go anyway with you. I'm gonna go ahead and walk with you type stuff, whatever, because I ain't had nothing else to go do after school or whatever. I was just gonna head to the crib. She was gonna go to night school and that was gonna be that or whatever. So she was like, I was like, well, what time you gotta be there? And so she actually had to get ready to go because she had to walk back to the school anyway. So I'm like, okay, well, go ahead. I'm gonna just get ready to leave in probably about 5 minutes or whatever. Ain't no pressure. So she like, all right. Bum, she leave. So I had done hollered at dude and I had done let him know, like, you feel me, she finna get ready to slide and stuff like that. So he just like, oh, okay, whatever, no problem, like, so that was that. So then we got like right back into it or whatever, but not even probably like 2 minutes. Like he was like, oh, hold on, let me go make sure she locked the door. And this after I even heard his phone go off too, but not really paying no attention because my phone went off too, like So he like, oh, let me go make sure she locked the door behind her or whatever. So I'm like, all right, like, go ahead or whatever. Okay, so me, I'm already in my head, like, I don't even care if she locked the door or not because I want to get ready to go. Up out of here, like. So he comes back after he was doing whatever he was doing. Not too long. He didn't take too much time or whatever. But he took a little time. So I'm just in the room or whatever, like, in the bed and stuff like that. So he returns. And as he returns, he comes in the room and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, it was great. And so he was like, oh, yeah. But I noticed he seemed a little jittery. Like, I don't know. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to get ready to slide or whatever. So, and that's just me, like, trying to follow my intuition. Like, and you should, like, following your first mind, them intuitions. When you get that, listen to it. Take charge, you feel me? So he went to the convincing stuff, trying to get me to stay, which he obviously did. So I was like, okay, I'll stay for about 5 more minutes and it's a dub. Like, you feel me? I'm out. I'm going to the crib. So he like, all right. So goes ahead. So I noticed he like, oh, turn around now. So I'm like, okay, so now you already know I'm not even in the mood no more or whatever, but I just did it. So I turned around. And then we started doing what we was doing again. So as we, in our little groove or whatever, I'm looking this way because I noticed. And I like to pay attention to everything. I noticed that when we first was, the door was already shut, like closed. But when he came back, it was cracked. So I'm like, looking at the door. I'm like, hold on. All right. So I'm watching the door just to see if anything, you feel what I'm saying? If I see a shadow, because I know from what I was told, he told me his dad stayed there and his dad actually wasn't supposed to be there at the time. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever, you feel me? So I'm like, hopefully I don't see no little ghosts run by, like, then we good. So I'm like, okay, well, let me stop because I be in my thoughts a lot or whatever. So let me just stop. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm tripping. So I turn my head for 1 split second. We sitting there doing this thing. I'm already, like, you feel me, not into it. I'm just like, can't wait till he finish. These young boys, they just got so much energy. They just be still, like, with the stuffs. Like, come on, now, speed it up. So as soon as I turn my head, I hear, what's up? So I look, and he's standing there. I hear another, like, what's up? Yo, when I look back to that door that I was staring at, that I should have never turned my head from, you got 2 more young niggas standing right there. Butt, booty, naked. Things just thangin'. You hear me? Them things just thangin'. You just hear, what's up? What's up? So I'm looking. Because they not just thangin'. Like, okay, they just took off their clothes as if they was probably peeking, watching them things thangin'. They ready. So I'm looking at them, and them kids at that age, y'all ain't got, why y'all thangin'. But all right, get my mind out the gutter. Okay, yeah. So I'm like, so I look back at the nigga, like, you feel me? Because I'm pissed. Now I'm like, yo, so I'm like, man, what y'all mean? What's up? Ain't nothing up. You feel me? I'm like, man, ain't nothing up. Like, I'm finna, So I grabbed my bag and act like I got something in it. You feel me? If I could go ahead and get up out of there. So I had done, got the nigga up, You feel me? So I'm like, dog, you green it. You feel me? Like, what y'all got going on or whatever. So the niggas, they just like, dang, man, what's up? Why you acting like that? Da, 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 da. Grab my little bag. And like I got something in there. I'm like, man, I'm finna get up out of here. Y'all niggas play. Like, y'all trying me or whatever. Stuff like that. I was scared. I ain't finna sit here and cap to y'all. It's just me, 3 more niggas. You feel what I'm saying? 1 already inside. They basically, like, it's a setup. You don't know what. They could hold me down to the ground like I'm little. I'm still little now. Like, so imagine back then, this before I had kids and anything like that. So I'm real little. Like, you feel me? These niggas ain't finna hold me down and get my goodies. Who? So I'm like, okay. So I gets my stuff or whatever. Like, you know, I'm acting aggressive and stuff like that. Ready, like, to snap on a nigga type stuff if they try to grab me. Anything, you feel me? So I walks right through them. I walks right through them, get out the door. And I heads home. You feel me? So I gets to walking down the Ave. So I gets to walking down the street. And as I'm walking down the street, you feel me? My feelings hurt. Like, my feelings real hurt. I wasn't finna show them niggas, but I walking down the street crying, you hear me? Like, yo, these niggas just play with me. So I had done hit up that girl, you feel me? I'm like, yo, so she like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, oh, dude 2 and dude 3 done play. Like, you feel me? They done came in the room and all this stuff. So she like, you lying. She was like, oh, I knew it was something. I'm like, what you mean you knew it was something? And she was like, oh, because when I was walking out, they was walking in or whatever. And then I heard one of them was like, oh, you got a condom. And then the other one had to ask. He was like, oh, well, why you leaving? And she was like, oh, because I got to go to night school and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, you feel me? Why you ain't let me know? Like, you know, I could have got up out of there. Like, why would you just, like, let me stay there and not even tell me? Like, that's why. Like, you know, so I'm just like, man, all right or whatever. You know, stuff like that. I'm not even going to get into her or whatever. Like, yeah. So I ended up leaving. I walk in down a street and stuff like that, gets to the crib, and you know, my feelings hurt or whatever. And mind you, the boys, we all us go to the same school. So I did see them on a day, you know what I'm saying? But I just didn't holler at fool no more. You get what I'm saying? He ain't said nothing to me, I ain't said nothing to him. And I dang sure ain't say nothing to his dogs, they ain't said nothing to me. You feel me? I'm not finna, you know what I'm saying? We could take it there, but I'm not finna just like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, everybody was just in the wrong in that situation. I ain't even had no business being there, so I gotta count me too. You feel me? So it's like, I seen them every day. It was nothing. I ain't holler at them. That was that. Okay, so years go by now. And everybody grown, you feel me? We got kids now. I know he got kids. Like, you know, just things like that. And at this time, I ended up moving back in the hood. Like, you feel me? And this time, he was like, still kind of staying in that area or whatever. And I kind of moved in that area. So I actually used to see him on a daily, every day. You know? So, same, you know, I got the same attitude about years later. Like, it's not like an attitude, grudge, hatred, and nothing. I just ain't deal with him. Like, I just didn't know him, and I left it as is. Okay, so one day, he had done finally came to me. I don't know if I was walking to a store, and I walked right past him, so he tried to say something to me. So I'm like, you know, you feel me? Or whatever. So I was like, you ain't got nothing to say to me unless you finna talk to me what happened years ago. You get me? Like, tell me why you tried me like I was, you know, some type of shown, like I was action, like I was an animal. You feel me? Like, back then we had words like that, all that thought and all that other stuff we say now. Like, you know, we had other words and stuff that we use. So he went to telling me, he was like, oh yeah, you know, so and so is this other dude at the school or whatever. And he went and told him that I'm Sean and I'm on that, and you know, this and that. Now, this the same dude that used to always try to talk to me all the time, and he got no play. Like, this guy sitting here telling you all this stuff, and he don't even got my phone number. You feel me? I know he ain't play at my top like that. So I'm like, and so you sat there and you listened to what he told you. I know you ain't know me like that, but you just sat there and took what he told you, and you set it up and you tried me. You feel me? He was like, nah, it's not just like that. He was like, you feel me? That's what they was doing. And I was like, so y'all was doing stuff like that, the girls? Like, you feel me? We in high school. And I was like, and they was letting y'all do that? And they was like, yes. I was like, wait. Like, I know I'm grown. I'm probably a little active right now, but I ain't got no business doing it. But I ain't grown like that. Like, to sit there and let 3 boys inside my holes. I don't even know if I got that many at this time. And if I do, how do you use all of them? You get it? Like that. At one time, like, what are you doing this action? Like, it don't make no sense to me. Like, them little girls was letting y'all do that, like, not 1, not 2, but 3 y'all. And then what made it so much more believable, because he gave me names. And I was just like, and to this day, if I was to see them or anything, I'd just be like, they was grown, like, you know, but that wasn't my business. But you don't try everybody like that. You feel me? It's the same guy who sat there, he tried to talk to me, he couldn't get no place, so he lied on my top. You feel me? He lied on me, making up all these crazy stories about me. People would do that, and I call that miserable people. People who are trying to tear you down. I feel like people who ain't happy with they self, or some people who just ain't got a care in the world. Why would you? Because anything could have happened to me. Suppose I would have been scrapped out bunny like I is today, you feel me, and would have upped on them guys in that crib, because y'all done sat here, planned this stuff out, whatever y'all did, and y'all initiated me in it, and then you feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what dude I think. Last time I knew, he was somewhere in prison. So be it. He probably setting up gang bangs for himself in now. You feel me? I ain't got no hatred for nobody in my heart, but it is what it is. You feel me? I just know how to deal with people and not dealing with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mind my business, go my way. I don't worry about people. I don't follow people who I don't like. Like, you know, just little things like that. I don't like to keep up with people. You know, so what's crazy about this story is that it took so many years for us to finally make peace. A few months before we made peace, dude too was murdered. He was murdered a few months before that. And you know, that's kind of touchy because they was homeboys. You feel me? They grew up together and stuff like that. So I don't know if that could have drawn him to, you feel me, come talk to me or whatever. But it happened. It happened years later, and I'm not mad about it because I got the story now. Even if I would have been a few more years later to find out, I would have still appreciated that. You get what I'm saying? But I wasn't gonna reach out to feel like, oh, okay, you know what was going on. He approached me and it happened like that. So we was able to make peace, and then maybe 3 months after we made peace, you know, we'll see each other in the hood. Okay, I speak or whatever. It wasn't no friends thing. We wasn't back talking. He ain't had my phone number, nothing like that. Like, you know, I just won't ever go that route with him again. Like, you know, we good or whatever. I ain't got no hatred in my heart for nobody. So it's like, yeah, we'll just speak. Hey, whatever. What's up? What they do? Da 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 da. Keep it trucking. 3 months later, about 3 months later, he ended up being murdered. And I'm just like, I was distraught. Like, I was just like, wow, you feel me? It's crazy. It's crazy and it's sad. And I'm still thankful that we was able to talk before it happened and things like that. But it's sad because he you know, kids out here. I don't want to say if it's just one or two because I wouldn't want nobody to really. But yeah, and it's messed up. But we made our peace. But my thing is, y'all just be careful of the people that's probably not even in y'all circle. Watch the people in your circle and the people that's outside your circle, because you got the people outside your circle looking in way more than the people that's in your circle, and then a lot of them can be making up a lot of stories about you. Listen, I done heard some crazy stories about me. Crazy. And I'd be like, damn, for real? Me? Only I could tell my tea. Can't nobody tell my tea better than me. Okay? I don't even like to clear up stories. I don't even like to clear up rumors. Like, it just be like, yeah, whatever. Say I got this. Say I did this. Say I'm doing that. Yeah, I am. But how does that affect your life? Child, please. So, yeah, we finna end that story time right here, right now, today. So, I want to say, make sure y'all follow. I got a Fruit Sisters Day in the Business Game or whatever, so you can follow Kia on the touch. If you want your wigs done, frontals, ponytails, you can follow Canary Hair Dreamer. If you need your frontals, your wigs, your ponytails, your bonnets, your slow ends. Lee at Envision Logos. If you want to get you some logos done, you can follow Nails by Nita. Trying to get, you know, them things right. You feel me? If you're trying to get your sons right, you can follow Pretty Weed page. She got the little VLC clothes for y'all. And then you can follow me. I got some music, story times, and a few more things that I ain't finna tell y'all right now. Yeah, and that's my story time, and I'm out.